trying very hard to take out boards previously lifted so the surveyor can complete his survey of the boat. There are still one or two areas which you can't quite access yet, which we're going to obviously open up today. This will be the third survey that this gentleman's done on the boat, and but because we haven't been able to get in to some access areas since 1823, it's been quite a problem getting into to get the areas opened up. They haven't been. 1823 went in for some repairs, and the deck was sealed, the airboxes were installed, and up until now they've never been exposed, they've never been out. So to be quite honest, we didn't quite know what we were going to find. What we have found has been very, very encouraging. Airboxes were installed out of just cheap wood. That's what's rotten. The actual boat itself is 95% sound. It's absolutely brilliant.
The good news is the most important part is that the actual hull of the vessel, the whole hull of the vessel itself, is relatively sound and almost entirely original, right back to when she was built in 1802, I think. Once we started opening up the interior of the boat, which was all enclosed, and this was actually built as a lifeboat, so they had flotation chambers built into the boat itself, which you really haven't got any easy access to. They're completely sealed. But we needed to get in there to see what condition, whether it was going to be good or bad, of those tanks. And unfortunately, when we opened them, we started to find an awful lot of wood that wasn't in the best of condition.
And what's happened, because the underside hadn't been tread, the condensation was hanging underneath, and in actual fact the wet rot has been created inside the chamber. The inside of the timbers have been rotting from the bottom, as you can see, and and some of it in actual fact is even worse than this and just crumbles to the touch and just dusts, to be quite honest. So
I think the actual quality of the work itself done was in the context of the times, and it was all right, but it was the materials used, the internal wood used for creating some of these flotation chambers was really very poor quality wood, not really suited long term for use in a wooden boat on the water. And the fastenings the same, they used iron, so they used not the best quality wood, and it was fixed in place using iron nails, and that is really a recipe long-term for disaster. I'm in the happy situation where I won't actually be doing the work on this boat, but I have done work like this, and even on boats in much worse condition, and it's a mixture. It can be enjoyable because at the end of the day you're sorting it and you have it back in good condition, but there will be an awful lot of work to do. Not helped at all by the coating on the boat inside, which is tar, and it's not the very best of materials to work with. It'll be a tedious process a little bit, because at the end of the day, the whole aim of conserving something that's old and important is to try keep and save as much of the original structure as possible. Now, the largest part of the original structure is the boat itself, is the actual hull of the boat, which is the boat. And what we're looking at that needs to be replaced are just some internal parts of it that we believe are not original to when it was first built.
Well, it's got holes in the floor because it's quite a unique boat with a very, very curved keel and very low amidships when it's in the water. So in actual fact, it wasn't unusual to get heavy waves and spray over the side of the gunwales into the boat itself. The men rowing were very often rowing virtually waist deep in water. And in 1823, when buoyancy was becoming unpopular cork was becoming unpopular as buoyancy, they put airboxes in the boat. And the airboxes, in actual fact, were designed to allow water to come into the boat and go out through the bottom of the boat. We've got 8 relieving holes in the bottom, which go right away from the deck right through to the bottom near where the keel is. May seem strange that you've got 8 holes in the bottom of a boat, and yet it's still a boat. But it worked very, very efficiently, and it got rid of all the water that was swilling around inside the boat.
You're able to tell the difference between the quality of the work even done at one period and another and so on like that. And you're able to, if you go through it, in a sense it's like a jigsaw, and it's trying to basically find all the pieces that go together. And you are, over time, able to find out largely what is original, very definitely original, and what was something added on later, or even if there was repair work done, because often they would not use the exact same quality of wood used originally. They might even use a different species of wood, but because it's all fixed in right and painted, perhaps you wouldn't know it. So it's only when you begin to extract stuff, separate one piece from another, that it becomes obvious, well, that piece is definitely original, but we're not so sure about this piece.